Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. It's a beautiful morning. Sun's coming up through the trees. Trucks are just rolling out. Nice blue sky today. Check this truck out. So if you guys remember the T680, well, the guy was out in Massachusetts or Maine and had a little breakdown. We now have a rider. So much for these emission trucks. This truck a 106. These guys are just rolling out. This is truck 112. And truck 131. It's a little dirty. Like yesterday morning, we had a lot of snow and ice. That's why these trucks are filthy. So it's all part of trucking. Just like that, we're into a cold Monday morning. I'm here. I got to pick up the truck behind me. You know, I showed you what it is like running a nice Kenworth or a nice Peterbilt or whatever. You know, today it's gonna be running one of the old ones. So this old girl, 133. This is the truck we usually have down at the plant. I say at the plant, at a food plant where we drop and hook trailers, and this is the one that's got this lifting mechanism on the back. Anyway, we're down here at this farm where we have this tanker. It's usually filled with liquid fertilizer. It's empty. We're taking it back to the shop. So I just got to drive this thing back before we get this sucker fired up. All right, so for those of you guys that are not familiar with old trucks, this is a 1993, and you see this button? Got an engine start button. Just like all the brand new vehicles nowadays. First off, turn the key, hit the clutch. Right up. So this thing's here dinging at me, low air pressure. I'm looking here for the cruise switch, right? I want to set the cruise up. There's no switches, right? Well, check this out. This old truck, that's the cruise. Go around, check these tires. Where I got to go is, it's only 20-30 minutes away. Back up to the shop, check everything out, make sure it works. So like I was saying earlier, we don't use this truck a lot. A lot of it is because it's got this lift on the back. Just use it a little bit here and there in the summer. In about 3 or 4 months over the summer, late or early fall is when it gets used all the time. It gets used for dropping and hooking trailers. Works out pretty good. I think we're about ready to go. We're gonna get this truck on down the road. I think it's got a 10-speed in it. We're gonna see how she goes. So something else I want to say, guys, is this engine is a mechanical motor. It's a cat motor, and it, with this cruise, if you can see the cruise button and the Jake brake, one of the things is you can adjust the idle, so you can idle it down too far to where it pretty much shuts off, or same way, actually, I don't know if it won't shut off, but it basically goes down to 600 or 700 RPMs. The engine brake, when you come up to a stop sign, it will jake and shut itself right off. It'll jake down to it shuts off. So you gotta always remember to shut your jake off, or be careful not to let it jake down too far. So that's one of the challenges of running an older truck. If you ever running an old truck, or one way to know you're running an old truck or an old motor is if it jakes and it goes the whole way down. They call it a mechanical motor. see, there's not many trucks here. Most of the guys are out. There's one of the belt trailers. If you remember, this truck was the one that was sitting over in the side there. Yeah, I hear you. So I never really talked much about our tank trailers, and I'll take the time today to show you a little bit about this tank trailer. This is a 2005 Polar tank trailer, more like a fertilizer, or they call it like a non-code trailer. It's a 5,600 gallon trailer. We haul a lot of fertilizer, brine, a lot of different things in it. These tanks, or this one, you can also get in a straight barrel where you would unload out the back. These are like a conical where they unload out the bottom. There's a lot of different options when you're getting these trailers. You can get them a lot of different ways. So I'll just show you the pump underneath. I'll cruise around to the other side, but basically it takes these hoses right here to unload the trailer or to run that pump. So like I was saying before, most of our trucks have wet lines on them, or PTO, to run that hydraulic pump. So you can see the hydraulic lines run back, and they run this small pump, 2-inch line coming out, and they will unload into a product tank that's sitting off to the side. We store our hoses, things like that, right in these trays. They will load these things. Sometimes they load from the bottom. A lot of times they will also load from the top. We'll pop in there and check it out. Guys, let me say, I don't know a ton about tank trailers. Just the little experience of the last couple years since we had these trailers, you know, just stuff that I learned along the way, and learned from the drivers, just learned from here and there working with them. So here's the top of this trailer. So I don't know if you can see in there. There's a drain at the bottom. When you're unloading these, you always want to make sure that you vent them. There's vents. Just flip the lid open. We do have to wash these trailers out at times, and the guys will just hop in there, put a little ladder in there, and rinse the trailer out. If you ever seen a tank that was sucked in, or the sides were sucked in, that's basically from not venting it. And that is the last thing that you want to have happen to one of these trailers. They're expensive new. They're probably between 70 and 80,000 new. Kind of depends on what thickness material you get, etc., etc. But now a lot of the new ones come standard with a vent, basically just a curved pipe that's at the top of the trailer, so it's vented all the time. These do have baffles in. I think this one has 2 baffles. You know, baffles are okay for what we do because it's non-food grade product that we haul. So unload time depends on how far, or like where you're pumping it, stuff like that. It really does not take a lot of pressure to run these pumps. Very little pressure. Actually, it doesn't take a lot to turn the pump. And a lot of times, or a lot of miles that we run with these things, they're half loaded, half empty. So it's not like you can just go get a backhaul with these tankers. You're basically half the miles that you're running empty. So you got to go back, get another load. A lot of times too, the products don't mix well. So if you say you leave fertilizer in and then you go to try haul something else, well, you might get a reaction or something crazy going on. So you basically have to find a spot to rinse out somewhere. So our guys will rinse out quite a bit. So I don't know if you guys got any more questions on the tank trailers. Like I said, this is about a 5,600 gallon, and we load it right up. We have overweight permits. I want to say we're legal about 95,000 or somewhere in there, 30 couple ton. I'm hoping at some point to get another trailer. I'd like to have more like a 6,500 gallon tanker. So this is one of 4 tanks that we have. We have 1 straight barrel tank, and then we have 3 other tanks. This is like the second oldest one, I think, or others are newer. We have another newer Polar, I think a 6,000 gallon, and then we also have a Mac, which is the same size as this one. I think it's like a 5,600 or 5,650. Time to get my exercise. Gonna walk back up to the shop, see what else is going on today. I know I do got to do some deliveries with my pickup and trailer today. Got some things going on. Maybe we'll take a walk to the shop here, see what's in the shop for service. Real quick, I don't know if you remember that one video I showed you. There was one of the driver's trucks parked out back by the dumpster, and I was getting confused with the dumpster. I think it was a GMC, if you remember correctly. I think it was that one. I told him he's supposed to be parking it beside the dumpster. We know what the good truck is, because this guy parked right out here on the end. Look at this one. She's a beauty. There you go, Todd. Enough with driving a GMC. So I don't know how many of yous were on my live stream on Saturday, but I was walking around showing you all the trucks. You can see there's no trucks out there except that one I brought back. And right here, the trucks are all gone. And over here, trucks are all out. Trailers are here getting loaded. Well, that red truck, we do not run that truck a lot. That's more of a part-time. It's really not worth it, but we do have some deliveries that go down against the lake, and we almost gotta have it for some of the deliveries. But most days, that truck just sits here. We do not have a full-time driver for it. So I know that there's some trucks in the shop getting serviced, maybe 2 or 3. That gray one getting ready for the paint shop. We got, looks like we got one pulling in, ready to swap his trailer. And we got the oil truck here. And there's only 2 trucks in here. This is 107 getting a service. Never mind this one. And this one is getting some brackets replaced on the frame. That's stuff I don't like doing, but it is a 05, I think. So it does with all the rust up here. Those are the only 2 that are here. Check it out. They dropped off the excavator to start digging in the water line. And I'm hanging out in my office now. Time for the giveaway. Got a calendar here. The first one to let me know in the comments which truck I was running. That 1983 Peterbilt 378. Might have even been a truck number right on the side of it. Let me know in the comments which truck it was. The first person to respond with the right truck number wins a calendar. Good luck, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Peace out.